Let's rate all of the books that I read in April with a yes, no, or maybe ranking. I did read 8 books, not the 5 that I have here physically. The first book that I read was Flock, and this one is a yes. I liked this book a lot, so much fun, 4 stars. The next book I read was Exodus, which is book 2 in that same series. This one I think is a yes as well, but with the caveat that you're gonna get your heart torn out by something that happens in this book, because my heart was torn out. I was sobbing in the shower. The next book I read was Final Offer. This is a yes, but another caveat that this is almost 600 pages, so it is quite chunky. Lauren Asher loves to yap, but I felt like this was definitely worth the time it took me to read it. It was still a 4 stars. However, The Finish Line is definitely a maybe. This is the last book in the Ravenhood series. I was annoyed by how this book was put together, the order of the events. I gave it 3 stars. It's a maybe from me. The next book I read was Jazz at Air. This is an absolute yes. I gave it 4.5 stars. Such a good fantasy romance book. In fact, very heavy on the fantasy political part than the romance part. Definitely a yes. Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, I think is a maybe from me. I gave it 3.5 stars, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by this classic because I don't read very many classics. I think that Oscar Wilde likes to rant about subjects that I think he could probably shorten, but his dialogue is always very witty. So maybe if you're into that, but if you're not a big classics reader or it doesn't sound interesting, I'd probably pass on this one. Fearless is unfortunately a maybe. Even though I liked parts of this book, the ending was disappointing. It was very repetitive throughout the entire book. I don't know, it was not my favorite, so definitely a maybe. And there's not a single no this month, thank goodness, because Gothicana was also a maybe at another 3.5 star rating. This book is teacher student, but they're in college. There's only a 5-year gap. They're both over the age of 20. The only issue that I had with this book is the writing style. It's a lot of tell, not show, but also the elements of mystery and mental health in this were really cool. So maybe, I thought it was a pretty good time. And yeah, those are all the books that I read in April. If you want to watch my full wrap up, it's on YouTube right now.